Two team has avoided the scare they had earlier with the water temperatures. The debris is completely removed. We've talked about Brian Keselowski being proficient at restrictor plate racing. 4 wins, and we've got trouble behind him, Rick. Around they go.
It looked like it was Eric Almirola that was the first to go sideways and then collecting numerous cars behind him. May have been the one of Jamie McMurray. It was a light blue car. Chase Elliott. That Sun Energy 1 caught up the window net down for him. Paul Menard in the 27. Jamie McMurray trying to get it going the right direction. Kevin Harvick is involved. The 44 of Brian Scott. And already we're seeing Chase Elliott climb out of that car. The big one happening. So close, running around this racetrack. The 7 also, Regan Smith. So much damage to the back end of the 7 of Smith. Brian Scott climbing out of the Shore Lodge 44. Jamie McMurray stuck on the banking. Take another look. It was McMurray in the 1.
See McMurray and Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie comes up and then McMurray actually comes down and gets onto the left front. It's on from there. I mean, we talked about it earlier. As soon as somebody makes a mistake and you're in this big pack of cars, you're going to take a lot of people with you. It's just how it happens. You get some of these cars riding around the back actually got in the wreck as well. So one mistake by a driver, a mistake by 2 drivers, and this is what happens. It's not just those 2.
And a bump there by the 48. The back bumper of Jimmie McMurray. 78 of Martin Truex Jr. caught up. Danica Patrick also. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 88. Brian Scott up on the hood of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Chris Buescher, 23-year-old out of Prosper, Texas, was involved. Also that 46 of Michael Annett. Another Midwesterner.
Murray hit really hard. Ended up getting clipped in the rear, turning to the right. Hard impact, and all these cars had nowhere to go.
Of course, Jimmie Johnson in the 48 involved from the beginning.
And we're on board with Jamie McMurray. You see him just saw the wheel, that small movement. He just couldn't save it. Hard impact, and look at the multiple impacts. Another shot. 3 big hits for Jamie McMurray. Gets his hands off the wheel, so as the wheel goes left and right, it doesn't catch his thumb or finger. On board here with Earnhardt Jr. We're here out of the gas. Just nowhere to go. He drives through the accident, but a lot of damage to the nose of the 88 car.
All 4 Hendrick cars involved. Casey Kane as well. A lot of damage to the 48, the 78.
And the frustration of speedway racing is this is it. 2 drivers, Jimmie Johnson and Jamie McMurray, get into one another. Just mistakes. And their mistakes are going to cause a poor night for 15,
half the
16,
field.
17 cars. Yeah.
We're at almost 19 cars that I've counted.
And look at Kevin Harvick, how far underneath Brian Scott he is. The rear tires are on the roof of the 4 car.
Matt DiBenedetto in the 83 is up underneath the 4. And the sparks flying. So much sheet metal damage.
And things happen so quickly. But you can see the 1 car. 48 moves up, and at the same time, now the 1 starts moving down, just barely clips him. Then he gets into the side of his teammate. Then he has to slow down to keep him wrecking, and the 48 gets into the back of him. So, kind of it looked like to me at the same time, they just kind of got together. The 48 moved up, the 1 moved down, and it started every bit.
And Jimmie was thinking 3 wide, and the 1 didn't think he would be in that lane. On board with Kevin Harvick. You mentioned the 44. You hear him out of the gas, on the brakes. There's absolutely nowhere to go. You see his view, a car on his windshield. And that's how fast it goes.
Look at the 34, how fast he's coming in there. 31.
Yep, 31 also.
Ryan Newman, he gets into the back of Greg Biffle. I mean, all these cars have significant damage. The 16 of Biffle, of all the cars that got hit significantly, he probably has the least amount of damage if it didn't damage the fuel cell.
20 of Kenza.
A lot of big names in this wreck. See Danica in it. She was a lap. She had just gotten lapped.
There's the damage to the 4 of Kevin Harvick. The hood folded back. Not even a front end.
And so go back and think about the pit stops. The pit stops put Kevin Harvick close enough to the front. We saw Kyle, his teammate Kurt Busch, he went ahead and raced to the front and